Welcome back to some more Euro Super Touring action. This is race 2, same weekend as the Worlds. This is the second time in the season that has happened off the back of, well, it was always planned like this, but we knew how successful the Major rounds were, and it's been a very good weekend in Germany for both these championships. It's Adrian Michael Rees here, and as you see on pole, the reverse grid has taken effect, and to no one's surprise, it's a BMW on pole. Maro Heidfeld managed to claim that honour due to his stellar performance in race 1. The 7th place finishing Radicic is still in with a decent shout for some championship points, 4th on the grid. And alongside me, the busiest man in motorsport is Michael Swinnerton, off the back of the Irwin Toolsmaster effort in the Worlds. He's been back and forth the commentary box and the garage more times than I care to remember. You must be tired already.
Oh yeah, I've definitely got me steps in. I'll be suitably pooped once we're all done here at the Nurburgring.
One more to go in the Worlds, but definitely one more to go in the Euros. Let's see what happens when the lights go out and away. Front wheel drive being victimized by the Hyundai. It's charging down the inside up to second place. Well, it's third now, second by the time the momentum kicks in there. Carroll down to third, but some of them looking like they parked up right there then.
Ingram taking the widest line in the world coming out the corner, but it appears to have paid dividends, seeing as he's made up at least one spot from his grid start.
Radicic still in 4th. Ingram now having an absolute flyer there. What did you put in his car?
Well, it's not me, it's a different team he's racing for.
Oh, this weekend. Anyway, round the outside of Radicic by the looks of it. All right then.
Yeah, he's off.
All right
he's
then. What?
Oh, okay. Let Radicic get back in past. Guys, do you want to keep formation flying for the entire lap? Is that the plan?
Apparently so. Let's hope so. The rest of the field following suit to
Ingram
a certain
finally
degree.
clear of Radicic. Took him 3 corners to do that.
Rear wheel drive at the front of the field. Rear wheel drive second. What? I mean, are we seeing it? I mean, I don't want to accuse anyone of cheating here, but that is flying.
Yeah, they've definitely worked something out with the setup of that Volkswagen.
No
I mean, Ingram has been around this track before in other championships, so he does have, you know, a comparable amount of track experience compared to the rest of the field here. But even so, he's found
track knowledge is one thing, pace is a different thing.
Yeah, he's found places to overtake that nobody has even thought of, apparently.
And we saw a lot of it in race 1, but some of it wasn't paying off. Ingram's moves are paying off, and it's only lap 1 that's been completed. Radicic still in 4th. Eddie Carroll, I mean, it's a privateer 3-4-5. If I mean 1-3 shouldn't be a thing, 3-4-5 should be a thing instead. Then Ivan Dalmas 6, Kubica making up for lost time. Already 3 places ahead of his starting position. Nelson and Bianchi there. The Tassi Hyundai, Barbosa 11th, Gavan 12th. We've got the Grandhomme Audi looking to distract Gavan by the looks of it through.
Or just push him out of the way.
Kazan Bingdong. I can't say that properly. I'll have to say the bypass. Kazan Bingdong. Right. Winkelhock down to 15th, which, considering the form this weekend, that's a bit low for that Europe car. But we've seen it there before. Capelli 16th, McNish around the outside onto the gravel there. The IKEA Vettel there is kind of starting to be a bit of a car that's just plodding along. We know, well, we still don't know what it's going to look like for season 2. But Vettel obviously still looking to maintain that. But that Audi of McNish, you mentioned it, it's just the performance at this circuit.
I mean, that right there is a very good example. Vettel was able to get the power down coming out the corner. He was able to get his foot on that throttle a lot earlier than that Audi. Got the
I'm
run,
surprised to see
but the Audi
Percy
does
on
have good
19th
straight
place
line
as well.
speed, so it's going to get him back.
Yeah.
But it's just, they're going to get into the complex, and yeah, there goes the stability of the BMW.
And the position we expected the Percy Lloyd's Ford to be in, we're still a bit disappointed where it is right now. 18th. That's the lowest it's ever been all season, I think.
That sounds feasible, yes. I mean, this is the nature of privateer teams. Is some days you'll have good days and some days you'll have bad days. And then the nature of touring car racing in general is if you get shuffled, you get shuffled, and sometimes these things just happen.
So having managed to have his cake and eat it in the first lap, still a bit of stagnation in Ingram's third place. Same for Shane Radicic. Still very good nonetheless. On board Kubica. Here we go. There's Dalmas in front.
Now, we know that the front wheel drives tend to be faster in a straight line, and they all tap the brakes around there, which is kind of confusing. But in theory, Kubica being better on the brakes and having better handling will go through this chicane a bit nicer than the fronties in front of him. Able to capitalise on that momentum. It was a bit. Able to capitalise on that momentum going through the final corner here. Hopefully, he might be able to make a dive down the inside into turn one if he's still close enough. But we know that Peugeot will escape his clutches ever so slightly coming down the straight here.
Maro Heidfeld still with the fastest lap after the third racing lap. As the...
Yep. Okay, when I said sent it, maybe send it into turn one. I didn't mean into his back bumper.
For which there is no return. There's Bianchi Nielsen still propping up the top 10 with Tassi bookending it. Heidfeld and Liuzzi with Ingram third still. Well, Heidfeld with the gap. Liuzzi with the gap. Ingram sneaking into that shot before we saw the car outright.
It looks to me like Ingram is slowly catching Liuzzi and then also very, very slowly and somewhat faintly pulling Radicic Carroll along with him for the ride there. I feel like all three of them are slowly catching that Hyundai.
And there was the Nielsen, or was it Morris? Scirocco, a little bit wide. Yeah, with Nielsen. We've seen cars go wide on the exit of the Warsteiner Curve. Tassi and Nielsen in their personal battle. Grandhomme not close, well, not in shot at least. Best of the Audis so far.
He has made decent progress, given how they're both Audi drivers are really struggling with their cars this weekend. He's, as I say, made good progress. He's knocking on the door of the top 10, which, given their qualifying efforts for race one, it's going to be a small silver lining for what is going to be, once again, sadly, a forgettable weekend for the two Audi drivers.
Down the inside perspective there, I thought he was... And Barbosa's performance stagnated from the performance in race one. Still top, well, still 12th. Heidfeld with another 10th off of his fastest lap. But the Crocodile is still very close through the arena. Different lines there, different opinions. As Barbosa behind us, Tassi in front of us. On board with Grandhomme.
You heard it there though, pulling out of that corner. You heard the and again there, the front wheel is just spinning up and causing some tyre screeching. That right there is Audi's problem with corner exits and acceleration and rotations right now. I feel like they've got their diff settings somewhat wrong.
Any higher and it'd be a monster truck. I think that's where the conundrum lay. You can't really have it too high, especially over these curves coming up.
Just lost out a gap there where he was on the back bumper of the Hyundai, which is now deciding to have a dive on the Volkswagen in front of it.
We need to go back up front. We see Ingram ahead of Liuzzi. That might have been moved down the chicane perhaps. Already gone.
Ingram up to second. The man can't be stopped today, apparently.
Where
Is
was
he
this
going to
in
catch
race one?
Heidfeld? Is he going to try and race for the win?
Best performance so far for the driver nonetheless. Best performance from Radicic, all things considered as well. That's him not even contemplating what's in the rearview mirror so far. We know who's there though, it's Eddie Carroll in the Lloyd's Ford. And the group fairly close. And I think we all know who's dead last. Let's leave that to one side for the time being. Let's see him when he gets lapped. Kubica there in 7th, still comfortably biding his time maybe.
Either that
Still
or
a
he's
decent lead.
stuck behind what is rapidly becoming the best defender in the series, as he's now got the most experience at just defending positions, Ivan Dalmas. As I say, he's become very accustomed to making that Peugeot as wide as a racetrack. So
And
Kubica
in fairness, Kubica doesn't really have to do anything too drastic. He has
also true.
got the most comfortable lead compared to the World Championship. This is all he has to do is just bide his time and just take what he can with another 4 races to go after this one. The train is starting to spread out, but the lead is still not running away with it like it was like Kubica was in race 1. There's the two at the front, same shot. Second half of the race to go.
Ingram is just keeping Heidfeld honest for now. Doesn't appear to be catching him per se. Though his last lap time was 2 seconds quicker there than the BMs in front. So either Heidfeld is just backing off and looking after his tyres, or Ingram is legitimately quicker in a privateer compared to a works effort.
The last 5 though, I question the consistency there. I mean, this might just be the same for everyone else though if they have been in traffic. But he's only 7/10 off of Heidfeld. Liuzzi, yeah, to a degree, that's okay. So we can see Ingram now very close to Heidfeld.
Over the curbs nicely there. Doesn't get the car out of shape at all. Sets himself nicely for the final turn. Yeah. Could have been a bit closer to the apex, but otherwise that was a very tidy line through there.
Behind this, not much of a change at all. Liuzzi with a bit of a gap to Radicic. The gap is still consistent between Radicic and Carroll. Kubica
still can't find a way past that Peugeot.
Who's got the grip with 6 to go.
Does Kubica have the patience just to sit there behind the Peugeot, or will he get annoyed and move the poor RCZ out the way?
Decent go in the 10s again. Once again, it is the double-header weekend, so obviously more action for them to look forward to. Barbosa up to 11th. There he is, just ahead of the Grand Turismo TT.
Back in front of the Audi. Whether that stays like that, though, I will believe it when I see it.
Ask now. We need to look back at the leaders because they are very close. I think the move might be on.
Ingram is there. Ingram is filling his mirrors.
NGK chicane. All right. That track map will always throw me at the top of the screen there. You'd think they're that close. Once it becomes one arrow, I think we need to actually, let's look at this. I don't think we're missing too much. There's a midfield split now. The top 10 plus stragglers, and then the rest of the midfield just vying for the points places then. Kubica fending off.
Just holding station a little bit, it seems, in this race. Just clicking off the laps.
I'm expecting to see Heidfeld's fastest lap being knocked off the top step by anyone. When Ingram has been closer, you'd think he'd have got the fastest lap in before I would think an inevitable overtake takes place. But Heidfeld's got the track experience, of course.
Oh,
Still
yeah.
a gap. Still a gap. Tassi up to 8th, as we saw earlier, but it's still dormant between the top 7.
Oh, Ingram's gotten very close. It looks like he might have a move here.
Right, it has to be on. The momentum is definitely there, unless the BMW power down the straight.
Oh, Highfield hit the brakes at the apex of the corner, like a lot of cars have been doing, and that's just allowed Ingram straight back past. So we have a privateer leading the race now.
And a German car ahead of a German car. BMW, I mean, I don't think they'll be scratching their heads. It's not only a comfortable lead for the driver there, Kubica, but it's also a comfortable lead in the manufacturer championship for the BMW M Sport outfit. Liuzzi, very good in 3rd for the tryout phase of the Hyundai in the European Championship rather than the Worlds.
Yeah, that Hyundai has been knocking on the door and is steadily getting faster and faster every race, it seems.
And whilst we're seeing a fantastic performance from Ingram, it's still a fantastic performance from the guy in 4th. Radicic there has not yielded any time to the Eddie Carroll, Lloyd's, Privateer, Ford, nor anyone else behind him.
No, absolutely not. Though I think that is in part thanks to Dalmas's insane defensive driving, stopping Kubica from getting through, because you know if Kubica gets through, he will catch those 2 cars in front of him.
Yep, it's happened before, but it's a very good defensive drive from Dalmas, and whatever's left of the development in that RCZ before Variant 2 appears next season. Now that's a purple sector for Kubica, but then I think that time has just been squandered by his questionable application of the brakes through the Ad Van Morgan. I'll say it properly sometime.
Bouncing over the curves at the chicane there.
And still a decent chain of cars with Ingram now heading it. Bit of a gap, yes, but all still very close.
Okay. I was going to point out that Eddie Carroll had just taken the fastest lap there, but as soon as I saw it appear on screen, Nilsson then...
Okay, this is where they've managed to conserve some grip, get the times in. Nilsson, where was this all weekend? 9th place. Still not getting ahead. He has gone ahead of Bianchi and Barbosa.
One thinks that potentially that fastest lap was in part helped by getting a slipstream off of the Hyundai in front of him.
No doubt.
Because he is close enough.
In fact, we're seeing Kubica start to fall back from behind the Dalmas RCZ, and Tassi could be set to capitalise on this. As soon as I say that, we see Kubica start to close in again. It's a similar shaped car. Do we know if that's an understeer issue in that RCZ, just like it is in the Audi?
Potentially. The rumours I've heard is that the RCZ, the engine Peugeot have put in it, is just not big enough. And that's going to be part of the thing that the version 2 of that car that is going to turn up next year is going to rectify, is just bigger engine, more displacement, bit more power, bit more oomph, allowing it to just behave in the way they want it to and keep up with the rest of the cars here. Because its straight line speed for now is more down to Kubica.
There we go.
Finally getting impatient with the car.
But obviously the move still did not pay off. Dalmas defensively once again. Ingram, Heidfeld, Liuzzi still your top three with 2 to go.
Kubica getting more and more impatient now. He wants to move forward. He's starting to drive a bit more aggressively there. You saw a dab of oversteer as he came out the corner. So he's getting a bit more erratic with his right foot there. Got a nose up
A bit
the
more
inside,
erratic with his overtaking. That was a bit
but
rough.
Dalmas is going to have the optimal line for the next corner. Dalmas has already cleared him.
It's still, it's like it's going to happen, and then it doesn't.
Come on, Marco, stop playing with your food and get on with it.
Nilsson down the inside of Tassi on the vast line of curve, but still not enough to clear momentum.
Tassi with a better run out of the corner and going around the outside of Kubica. Right, Tassi's turn on the Peugeot. Not wasting any time.
I guess
straight
Tassi
up the inside of that chicane. Going to have the momentum going around the outside of the second apex, and he's already cleared, but that's allowed Kubica to freight train the Peugeot. Dalmas hanging tough on the inside there. I don't think he's going to make that stick.
Well defended for the entire race, therefore that's now Kubica's green light in that regard with 1 lap remaining. But it's even a bigger green light for Norbert Tassi, who's managed to jump the pair of them. Almost traffic jam into
a little bit of bumper cars through turn 1 there. Now, it may be the last lap, but can these two rear-wheel drive works cars find their way past the two front-wheel drive independent cars in front of them? It's a tall order, but it is possibly doable given how they've already caught the Ford in front.
And unlike race 1 where Esteban Ordóñez has been lapped, he's still, blushes have been spared to the most minimal degree. You can see that Liuzzi is catching up with Heidfeld with only several corners to go. So this has been, this has been emotional. Radicic still holding form, no change in his position throughout the race. Kubica, Tassi's down the inside of Eddie Carroll then.
Tassi going to have a look. Is he going to stick his nose in? No, he's going to discretion the better part of valor there.
But what about this? Flying start, eventually get in the lead, and with enough grip to finish first, celebrating across the line. Anthony Ingram, I'm thankfully we muted my counterpart's microphone for that moment. My ears, man, my ears. Heidfeld across line second, Liuzzi third. Final points places there for Morris, Gavan, and Walter Vettel. Winkelhock almost doing the exact opposite. Like this, Winkelhock's form in that race was very similar to Radicic's, and yeah, that is your race 2 results right there. Ingram with the win. That is going to make his privateer campaign look very good indeed. In fact, that is now put him the best of those privateer runners. Stefan Morris is effectively 46 points behind. Given that they utilize the same points as the main game, that looks pretty good for claiming that title. I tried so hard to resist the urge to say it, unless something stupid happens to Ingram's performance in the final 2 races. I highly doubt that, though. Kubica, though, main performance is the race win in race 1, and then just grabbing whatever he could to maintain what is effectively 80 points worth of a championship lead over Maro Heidfeld, his teammate. BMW just owning the manufacturer standing so far, 135 points clear of Audi Sport, still second despite the messes that they've had in the last couple of rounds there. The Team Lloyd's boys, as a privateer team, leading that particular championship, just ahead by 9 points of the solitary HPI Ingram car there. And off the back of the World Weekend as well, which we will get to you as soon as we possibly can. Yeah, that's I would like to. I mean, you're very happy indeed. I don't think I need to say more than that, do I?
No, absolutely not. I know he was quick. His specialty is front wheel drive. It's why I hired him, and putting him in this European Championship was just there to get him seat time. And oh my God, it has paid off.
We heard your phone pinging off there with some messages of congratulations as well. I think we better let you get on with responding to some of those. And yeah, it's going to be back to Switzerland. Well, I say back to Switzerland for the Worlds. We were there earlier on in the season. It's going to be a similar weekend. They like their early starts, the Swiss, don't they? That's going to be race one into sunrise. Uh, Letters. I'll appreciate your letters explaining why that is the case. Before a final round back at Brands Hatch to round that all off. What a weekend it has been. Adrian Michael Rees here alongside Michael Swinnerton. Good racing, everyone.